Hello, Aviva. How are
Hi.
you? How are you across the
I'm
pond?
I'm doing really well over here. I'm across the pond, but I sent in my vote yesterday, so I feel very connected to my home
Your
right
home,
now.
yes.
My American home.
Your American home. So Aviva is an American, not in Paris, but in the
No.
UK. Where are you?
Yeah. I'm in Southwest London.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So an American in London.
An
Is there a
American.
book or a movie called that? I feel like there
Well,
might
we'll
be.
make
I don't
one. We'll
know.
make one. In fact, that's
We'll
going to
make
be the
it.
title of this episode. I
An
just
American in
decided
London. Go
an
for it.
American in London.
Love it.
Aviva,
A New
what,
Yorker. A New Yorker in London, really. I
and
know
the
you're in New York,
and the
so
Portuguese in New York. So we have tons of
yeah.
titles we can
Cross.
we
We're
can cross
crossing.
pollinate. Tell me, Aviva, what makes your mind bloom in Southwest London?
Not being in Southwest London. That's what makes my mind bloom. What makes my mind bloom is goodness. I grew up just outside Manhattan. I grew up in southern Westchester. So and then went to school in the city, and I always kind of lived in or around cities. And even when I came here to the UK, lived in I've been in the London area
Yeah.
the whole time. But since living here, I've spent a lot of time in the country and outdoors and hiking and I I grew up in a family that was decidedly unoutdoorsy. They're not outdoors people. And since being here and spending so much more time outside, I've realized that I'm actually an outdoors kind of person at heart. I'm not really a city girl, as I always thought that I was. And so what makes my mind bloom, and don't get me wrong, I love cities, but uh, what makes my mind bloom is being away from all of it, from getting away from everything and being outside and being in the mountains or by the sea. And I love people, but being away from people and just completely tuning everything man-made out and just connecting, disconnecting to connect, that whole kind of cliche, if you will. But that's what makes my mind bloom. I find that, when I'm outside, even just, today I was feeling a little bit low earlier, and I went for a walk. I live across the street from a really big, beautiful park, and just immediately being surrounded by the trees and just really setting into that and noticing my surroundings. My mind just bloom. It's
Yeah.
completely in it. Yeah, that
Mm-mm.
makes my mind bloom.
It's
I
it
love the
is.
world we live in. It's incredible.
It is. It's blooming all the time. It's so many good people, so many beautiful places to visit. It's amazing. And you have the
Mm-hmm.
moors over there. You have, I mean, you just like a
Mm-hmm.
whole Emily Bronte
Yeah, I
experience.
know. I've never been, so that takes place in Yorkshire, and I've actually never been to that part of the UK. But
Mm.
um, if anybody aside from my mom who knows me listens to this, because I'm sure my mom will listen to this, um, she knows my love for whales, the country whales, also the animals. I do love the animal of the whale. They are incredible creatures.
Yeah.
But my husband's family, his history comes from Wales, and we've spent a lot of time there, especially in North Wales and Snowdonia, which some of your American listeners may or may not have heard of. But it is my favorite place in the world, and I've been really lucky enough to travel a lot and see a lot of the world, and this is my favorite place: is being in the mountains in Wales, surrounded by sheep,
Yeah.
surrounded by nothing but nature. And there's a lot in the UK. Everybody knows about London, but the UK does countryside really, really well.
No, I know. My brother lives in Bristol, and he took me
Oh,
around.
wow.
And he took me around a little car ride of the coast side, and I
Yeah.
wouldn't know the names of the places
Yeah,
now. They
yeah.
all end in sheer anyway. But
Yeah.
and he's
They
probably
do.
listening to this too. But oh my
And
God, it was
sheer and
beautiful.
ham. They all end with sheer and ham.
And ham, exactly. And he says it's not ham.
Yeah.
um
I don't know how to. Well, yeah. I actually live right near an area that is called Ham. It's just called Ham. They did away
oh
with the preface. It's just
oh
Ham.
hey, let's just make it simple.
So, yeah.
Beautiful.
But
And
no,
so is
Bristol's a great
Ireland.
area. There's
It
so much good
is.
countryside. Yeah.
Beautiful. And so is Scotland and Ireland and Northern Ireland, and it's beautiful isles over there. Too bad they left Europe.
I don't even. I just got my British. Well, I shouldn't say just, but almost 2 years now. But became a British citizen, and I was like, just when I finally, because I used to, when I was younger, I used to say that people would say, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I'd say, "I want to be European." And then somehow I wound up marrying, an English man, and I was on the road to getting my European citizenship, and I was like, hey, it's funny. I got my wish. I became a European, and then we left the EU. So
right. You had a cunning plan. It was an amazing plan. Nope. Not happening.
Nope. Got to find another way now.
Marry another European man.
I know. Yeah. Sorry to my husband. You're out.
Nope. Brexit to you too. Anywho, so Aviva, let's talk about some of the things that have happened, especially in the last 2 years. Yeah. I know it was a bumpy ride. A lot of things have happened, and you've been through a few things, a few treatments, a few surgeries, all the fun stuff, and all in the UK, and all under the umbrella, the protection of NHS. And so I really look forward to hearing your perspective as an American on European, or in this case British
we haven't healthcare. I don't think it's like officially over yet, so I'm still European.
European healthcare, then. Let's just call it. No, it's also because it's different from country to country.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, anywhere specific you would like me to start, or kind of anything particular that you want me to talk about in that regard to begin with, or just kind of like a background of what's happened and what it's been like.
Yeah, so you said you had a little pain, I don't know if it was little pain in one of your breasts, right? And how did it go from there?
Yeah, so I'd say now I feel it's hard to get a concept of time right now. This whole year feels like one big time bubble. So I'm like, how many years ago was it now? How many years has it been since this morning? I think this point, though, it's about a little over 2 years now. I started noticing a pain in my left breast, kind of on the side, and at first I thought it was hormonal. I kind of didn't think too much of it. I've always had kind of wacky hormones anyway, and after a couple of months, the pain wasn't going away. It was kind of getting worse. And I thought, I should just get this checked out. Let me have it looked at, just in case. You never know. At the time, I was 32. And I went to see my GP. For any Americans who don't know, GP is general practitioner. I've been living here for so long now that I can't remember if that's what we call it in the States or not.
No, you call it.
I don't think
primary,
I ever called it. Your primary physician, right? Or primary care. Yeah, I never said
PCP.
GP. Yeah, no, I never said GP when I was there.